Okay.
Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. This afternoon, we have a special guest. We have, um, just a moment, Diarita Ch- Chanton,
Daria.
Chanton from Zambia. All right, you're on the air.
All right.
Oh,
Um,
just a moment, please. Tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, and then whatever questions you want to ask me, go ahead. But tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, please.
okay.
Okay.
My name is Daria Chanda. I'm from Zambia. Yes. Basically about me, it's not really a lot to say about myself, but from Zambia, to be specific, in Lusaka province. Yeah. Is there anything else they want to
Yeah, well,
I should say?
is that all you want to let people know about yourself? Is there anything else you want to just share about you?
Uh, Not really. I just wanted to know more about your vision, your book, since you've talked about your revised book that um you have written, and how you really want to help African countries. First, you said you want to start with your own country, to start helping people in different ways, those that are in ministry and businesses, and um, helping people all over Africa. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So basically, I want to set the record straight, and I want to make sure that you, as well as my listeners, can all understand where I'm coming from. First
Yeah.
and foremost, I'm trying to encourage all of my listeners, people that's
Yes.
on, yes, people that's on my friends list on Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, and X. Those are the
Okay.
main sites that I'm on, but I want all of my, you know, listeners to this platform to hear what I have to say and also to back support me, back up what I'm trying to do. All I have is my revised book, and that's here right here. It's entitled The Solution for Black America: Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Now, I am encouraging all of my listeners to please help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list. It's available in two forms. It's available as an ebook for $9.99. That's the one I'm encouraging everyone to, purchase. Purchase that and read my story for yourself if you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicagoan. Then you will automatically become a grassroots community activist movement member across the board. You don't have to physically live here in the United States. It could be anywhere. But my goal is to move my virtual Christian business, which is the grassroots community activist movement, from behind a computer and make our
Okay.
presence known in the low income Black American community or low income Black neighborhoods, starting here in the city of Chicago. But
Okay.
I'm only gonna do Chicago because I've been reaching out to Black Americans across the United States, through my book and through other platforms that I have. I used to be on Blog Talk Radio. Unfortunately, they shut that down. I was also on Black Planet, MySpace, um, and they shut my space down, I believe, or something like that. But bottom line, now I am using YouTube to broadcast my vision and plan beyond Chicago, because unfortunately, I have little to no support here in my city, and I'm not going to allow that to just stop me from trying to do what Jesus slash Joshua has called me to do. Um, my the vi- my vision and purpose for my business is to help
Mm-hmm.
eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, as well as hosting um, African tours. We're going to visit 10 African nations. So that's how come. But before we do that, I need African immigrants within the United States from these 10 African nations that we plan on visiting and setting up local chapters. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. So, only reason I'm focusing on those 10 is because those are in Sahara Africa, and they're large African nations, but they're in the Sahara Africa. So it surrounds
Oh,
Sahara Africa. I want to first started here in Chicago first, and I'm calling on those African immigrants from those African countries that lives here in the United States, the first for them to purchase my revised book and read my story. Everybody across the board, read my story. Uh, I wrote the book in order to generate capital, and
okay.
I also have a virtual store, and I did that also to generate capital, so that way I can hire Black people, African people, and others. Jesus slash Joshua called me to create the best Black business within the United States of America, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. That's all I am trying to do. But my business is about this right here. This is not representing a gang. This is representing the bar. So we're going to raise the bar in Black America. So in this business, Gurkyle Chicago, we want to separate ourselves from hardened criminals. First of all, I would say con artists. If we catch any con artists in this business, there will be consequences. Now, I speak about that in the book in more detail. I don't associate with con artists at all. Not saying I'm better than those type of people. It's just that people work too doggone hard for their money, and I don't want people to get scammed. That's not a good thing. That's a horrible
Mm-hmm.
thing. That's not
All
cool
right.
at all. And then some people, my critics say, by me selling my book, that's a scam. So those are small-minded individuals that would not be part of my business. My business is membership based. So that's how come I want people to read my story first. And if they agree with my vision and plan, then I want those persons to make themselves known to me and work with me to help turn my vision into a reality, because this is a Nehemiah assignment. This this vision that I have is bigger than myself, and I'm standing on Black business. That's what I'm standing on. So I don't shuck and jive over here.
Okay.
Now I do want to explain some things so that way everybody can be on one accord and understand. I like to put everything out on the table.
Okay.
So, my business is going to consist of two sectors: a nonprofit sector and a for-profit sector. I wanted to start off with the for-profit sector, but I was unsuccessful at trying to get investors. So that was discouraging. So then I switched it to focus on the nonprofit for right now. But eventually I'm going
Okay.
back to that um, for-profit business. What is it that you was trying want to say? That you want to
No,
say?
nothing. I'm hearing what you're saying.
Okay. So
Hearing what you're saying.
what I'm saying, eventually we're gonna come to your country too, Zambia. But right
You're
now,
welcome. Yeah.
but
You're
right
very
now,
welcome.
yes. But right now, I want to get it started in the city of Chicago, point blank.
Oh,
That's what my goal is. Now, I am going to explain a little bit about the for-profit business. That means that that's where I'm going to make my bread and butter. Okay, because I don't like begging for donations and all that stuff.
okay.
It makes it like you have to depend on somebody. But again, I want brave and smart people that's going to be on my team, and I want them to be competent, that they could be able to run the business without me being presently there.
Okay.
And I
All
want
right.
and I want to hire people. So right now, my book is, quote unquote, is barely selling. It's discouraging. But hey, I have to keep beating this drum. This is how come I created this platform. I want to interact with people that's on my friends list, that's in my social groups, not to sit up here and just to be on here just to be seen. If you're not interested in what I'm saying, our goal is to solve Black issues and also solve African issues. If you're not interested in those things, delete me off your friends list and go on about your business, because this is what I'm preaching about. This is what I'm called to do. So, with the for-profit type of business, we're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing. Because all of us as human beings, we all need food, healthcare, and shelter. So that's very important. And that's an important type of business to have. And I want to create that type of business in the low income Black community, or low income Black neighborhoods in the city of
When
Chicago.
you talk about housing, what exactly are you going to be doing? Like you'll be renting houses?
We're gonna in this business, I want to first hire qualified, I'm gonna say middle qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants to work with, to assist me. They have to have a degree in real estate. That's important because I can't do
Okay.
everything. So they're going to help me manage those things. And yes, I will pay.
Oh,
I'm going to pay. But right now, I cannot even hire anybody because my book is barely selling. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole reason I wrote the book is to generate capital. The reason I have a virtual store is to generate capital so I can be in a position to hire Black people, African people, and others. So now, I'm just saying this is what I wrote about in the book. But let me um continue, please. So that's
no.
what the for-profit type of business is going to take care of. Um, the nonprofit type of business, that's where we're going to focus on working with I'm going to say broken Black families, and I want to help Black Americans such as myself who identify as DAS FM. That stands for Descendants of American Slaves / Freedmen. So I want to work with that. That's my lineage. That's the group I'm focusing on. I want to work with them. Those that want more out of life, but that lives in the low income Black community, because that's where I came from. I understand. I know what the struggle is. It's a little worse than when I was coming up. But again, um, I'm not getting pushback from white America. I'm getting pushback from Black America because of this slave mentality. So this is what I'm up against, and this is what we're going to fight against in this business. Also, African immigrants, they're going to heal from that colonized mindset. So both groups have been affected, you know, um, due to, I would say slavery and colonization because of the white supremacist financial elite. So in my Christian business, Black Americans that become GRCAM members will heal from that slave mentality. up front. We're going to heal from that. And I'm going to say African immigrants that become GCAM members will heal from that colonized mindset. And what's going to happen is that Black Americans and African immigrants, we're going to learn how to get along with each other, respect each other's culture, learn how to do business together here in America, specifically in Chicago. And then we want to replicate the business on the African continent, starting in South Africa. That's all I'm trying to do. And this is why I'm reaching out to the global African family, because I want them to know my story, what I've been trying to do for the past 34 years. Yes, it's been a long time. Yes, it's frustrating, but somebody has to do it. And that's what Jesus slash Joshua has called me to do. And that's what I am going to do. I'm doing the best that I can, but however, I'm not going to lower my standards. A lot of my critics keep saying, Emmanuel, won't you just lower your standards? I can't do that. Again, we're going to separate ourselves from the enemy within, and that is con artists, hardened criminals, degenerates, pedophiles, urban terrorists. Those type of people don't mean us any good, and I am not going to deal with those type of people at all. And then people, again, God or Jesus, he gives us free will. So, you know, everybody's not going to be interested in this type of business, and that's fine and dandy. My focus is only concerned with GCAM members. That's why I want to encourage people to become GCAM members by purchasing my book and reading my story for yourself. It's not up for debate. If you disagree with the vision and plan, no problem. My advice to you is to delete me off your friends list, go on about your business. That's all. Things are now finna get worse because I predicted about I would say the illegal immigration crisis that was going to take place. That's now has manifest. Now black Chicagoans, you know, they're starting to listen to what I'm saying. They're starting to, but it's going to get worse. But I don't have time to sit up here and debate and, for us to still just complain about the white man and the government. We don't do that in my business. Over here, we're going to be M1 melanated first, and that means that we're going to solve black issues point blank. When I come to Africa, we're going to solve African issues point blank. Focus on that only. Nothing else on earth matters. That's how it is in my business. Um, Now I do want to mention a couple of things. Um, Under the nonprofit, it's going to have nine components: a social service component, a spiritual component, which is going to be optional for secular people. So you do not have to technically be a Christian to be part of this business. However, I do have to stress this. Brother Tyreek Nasheed, he is over FBA, which is Foundational Black Americans. I mean, he's from the same lineage that I am from. However, I don't want to deal with his situation because first I reached out to him before and he never, responded to me. But secondly, he's embracing voodoo and he focused on the ancestors. I focus on the ancestors too. That's important. However, God is the one that created the ancestors. So I don't want to give all my credit and stuff to the ancestors. They're important. That's part of my lineage. However, Jesus slash Joshua is the one that gave me this vision, and I claim ownership of it. And I'm gonna run my Christian business the way I run my home. Is gonna be drama free, and I only want to work with people that want more out of life. Point blank. Um, that's all I'm saying with that. Um, we're gonna have a political component. We're gonna teach our members and students the importance about politics. because our current black politicians are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. That's how come Black America don't get anywhere. Marching and protesting, begging the um, descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality does not make sense because that goes against white supremacy. We are in white supremacy here in the United States of America. The foundation of America is anti-black racism. So that's always going to be here in America, unfortunately. It is what it is. My focus, again, is just do the best that we can to build um, this organization, Gurkio Chicago, for I'm gonna say the black community for credibility. So when I come to Africa, I don't want to come to Africa empty-handed. I want to bring economic tangibles to Gurkhan members first and foremost, because that's what I'm called to do, to help my own first. And that's going to be Gurkhan members. Um, provide jobs for, I'm gonna say, black South Africans. That's what I want to do through this business. I don't want to just go there and just be running off at the mouth. I don't operate like that. That's how come we have gonna have different components. That's how come I want to make sure that I have my advisory board, which is going to consist of people that have associate's degrees and above, that specialize in different things. I write about that in the book too, so I'm not going to go into detail. Read my story. But I do want smart people that's going to work with me. That's going to be on my management team, or my resource team. That's important. We're gonna have entrepreneur components. I know how to create nonprofits and for-profit businesses, and I'm gonna teach that to our students. That's very important. Even if a person doesn't want to, I would say if they don't even want to own their own business, we still gonna have that option. That workshop. So if they want to learn that, we're gonna have that available to teach our students, members, how to start nonprofits and for-profit businesses. Number 5, we're going to have I want to call it a black entertainment component. So I want to, in this business, I want us to create black empowerment films. That's what I'm trying to do now. Trying to raise funds for my film project. Hood Liberator, made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins. That's based on my experience going through the struggle, trying to get this business popping for the past 34 years. Black Chicagoans been acting funny style with me. But because Jesus/Joshua placed this on my heart to get this business popping, that's what I'm trying to do. But I don't want to spend the rest of my life or another 34 years being stagnant. This is why I'm reaching out to like-minded, brave, and smart Black Americans beyond Chicago. All I want you to do is read my story first and foremost. Read it. That's why I wrote it. Everything in this book, we're going to carry it out to the fullest. And this is the foundation of my Christian business, point blank. Read it, and if you agree, then make yourself known to me so that way we could work together to turn my vision and plan into a reality to help speed things up. We're gonna have number 6, a black grassroots media. So we're gonna have our own media. So right now I'm depending on social media, unfortunately, and yes, things, they could shut it down anytime and censor us and all that kind of stuff. So that's how come I write out my speeches, and I read my speeches so that way I can stay focused and I don't get too political and all that stuff. But I'm trying to keep it within, I'm gonna say, YouTube community guidelines. But I'm dependent on their social media sites to get my message out. But that's how come I want to recruit brave and smart I'm going to say Black content creators and African content creators that have a large audience. Please allow me to come on your platform so I can promote my revised book and my film project. Very important. And those that join my film project, that be a part of the film project team, will go down in history with me and Sister Renee. Um, Number 7, we're going to have a health and wellness component. Number 8, science and technology component. And number 9, travel and tourism components. Now, I do want to say, so, um, hold on, just bear with me, please. Um, Darita, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, okay? Hello? Are you there? Oh boy, I guess we lost her. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so what I want to say to you is that for example, you might ask me, well, you might be thinking, those of you that's on the continent, well, Emmanuel, how can your business in Chicago help benefit um
Zambia,
Zambia, for example. I'm just going to use that. Well,
Zambia.
once we get it popping here in the city of Chicago, we'll be able to. I'm going there. I can't speak for everybody else. I know that's what Jesus/Joshua wants me to do, not to be sitting
I
here
mean,
in America for the rest
it
of my.
has to start. I
So
mean,
what?
it has to start with me as
So
a Zambian. Then it can extend to to other Zambians.
so what I'm trying, yes, so what I'm trying to say is, since I already have a connection with you on Facebook, you're going to be a representative for me when I come to Zambia, okay? And
No problem.
we're going to set up a chapter. But first we're going to start it in South Africa. Because when I come to South Africa, I want to prove to continental Africans or native Africans that I mean business. I'm going to apply for dual citizenship. I'm going to we're going to set up this business there, but it's going to be called Gakai of South Africa. And I want to be able to, create, jobs for the locals. I might not be able to hire a lot of people, but at least that's where we want to start at, you know. And then once we get it, and then we're going to do our second film. The second film is called African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindsets. And that's going to be made in South Africa. And I'm going to give all of my I'm going to say African supporters, people that have came that lives on the continent, that have came on my podcast when I was quote unquote small, give them an opportunity to audition for a role in the film. That's what I'm going to do. And
All
I'm
right.
going to compensate those persons such as yourself, for being in the film. But anyway, we want to get it popping there in South Africa first for credibility, and then we want to replicate it. We're gonna go East Africa, the ones I already named, and like I say, yes, we're gonna come to eventually throughout the entire Sahara Africa. I'm gonna do the best that I can to get that popping in my lifetime. If if I don't be able to make it, but at least we're gonna start it off. I'm gonna do the best I
Yeah.
can before the Lord take me out of the land of the living. But that's what I'm called to do, and that's it. But the main thing is, I want us to have that connection with here in Chicago. So Gurkai Chicago, we started it here first. Again, this business ain't real. It's not about me. It's about single black families that's in the low income black communities. We're trying to help them, and I want this to be an economic base in the black community to create jobs for our black youth, to keep them out off the streets and out of gangs, and put money in their pockets so they can feed their families. That's all. And this legitimate. You don't have to run from the police and all that stuff. That's how come I'm broadcasting it. Any okay, do you have any
I
other
hear you.
questions you want to ask me, please?
Questions? Not really. I don't have a lot of questions, but it's just encouragement that I want to say
Okay,
about
so
all the I've heard. Sorry,
okay,
are
say
you
that.
able to hear me?
No, I don't know what you
I'm
just
saying,
said. Say it again, please.
I was saying that it's just an encouragement to you, since you
Oh,
are saying you have yes, you have put up all those plans and strategies that you want to do. Yes, and
see,
see, I've seen that you have a passion to help African countries, you know,
yes,
and Zambia is one of them. Mm?
yes, but what I
Zambia.
yes, yes, but
Mm,
what I want to say is I only want to work with people that want our services and programs. Those that don't have any ambitions in life, I can't work with them. That's all I'm saying. And again, we want to separate ourselves from the, I guess, people that don't mean our racial group any good. That's all I'm saying. And I do want to say this too. For my listeners, please mark your calendar for March 28th. That's going to be on a Saturday. I will be holding, I do this every month. I hold our
okay.
um it's called GRCAM Virtual Interactive Conference. And I only want 5 people to be on my panel. We're going to talk about the fall of, it's entitled The Fall of Black America. Okay, but you're going to have to watch a video about that first, and then we're going to talk about it, and then I want to open it up for Q&A for everybody that's online that's watching, so that way you can ask
Oh,
me specific questions. Write down the
okay.
time, please. That will be 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK time. So I want people to know I'm not just sitting on here, just want to run off at the mouth. I want to get everybody involved to get to come on this platform and talk with me. And most of all, help get my revised book on that bestsellers list. And those that live here in the United States of America, please get behind our film project. I want Black filmmakers and African filmmakers to step up. But read my story first, and then if you agree, step up and get behind this film project so we can raise the funds. We want to raise $250,000 for the film project because I want us to make a quality Black empowerment film. That's going to help put me in a better position financially. Once the proceeds start pouring in, then I can purchase property here in Chicago, Illinois, um, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, hire qualified African immigrants, and that's all I'm trying to do. And hire people within the community. That's all. We want
Yeah.
to raise the bar. We don't want to sit up here and complain about the white man and the government.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any other specific questions you'd like to ask me, please?
No, no, no. I think everything is clear about your vision and the strategies that you want to do in order to raise the funds that you want to raise in order to help um, African countries and the vulnerable. You help in health facilities and everything. I feel like that is a great move that you are doing, and we thank God that He has given you that the heart to help. There are few people who think about others and their well-being. So
Yes,
we are grateful.
yes, but
Mm,
please understand, it's been 34 years. So that's how come I'm frustrated because I'm like, but you have to keep in mind, yes, the white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my book, okay? So we can't
mhm.
blame the white man for that. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from my virtual store. The white man is
No,
not.
no, no.
No, I'm just
I
letting you.
did say that.
Yo, I know you didn't, but I'm
Okay.
just trying to say because I got some stuff out here I'm trying to sell in order to generate capital. The white man is not
Okay.
stopping Black Americans from donating to the film project. That's a personal choice. And this is how come I'm reaching out to African immigrants within the United States from those 10 African nations I just mentioned, as well as I'm reaching out to the global African family to help speed up this process. I do not want to be sitting up here talking the same stuff another 34 years.
No, I don't
Most
think
of
so.
all, also it's not God's fault neither that I don't have
Mm.
the black churches working with me. A lot of these people that's acting funny style with me, I'm just gonna say that is because my business is not up and running. It's not established. Now, once the business, I would say, manifests. Once they see a physical building and see that the business is on and popping, then they're going to want to be a part of us. So that's what I want. I want to stop that right up front. I'm like, oh no, those that rejected me for the past 34 years would not be part of my business, including my family members. So if I'm like that with my own flesh and blood, how you think I'm gonna be with strangers? Again, that's how come, I'm just trying to talk to people that's like-minded, that care about solving black issues, that care about solving African issues. I'm not running for public office. We're gonna build this business from the mud. That means from the bottom up for
Okay.
credibility. So when I come to Africa, I already know how to do all that stuff. So I just want to make sure I have a support system in place when I get there, and when I get there for us to run and get these things popping.
All right. Okay.
Also, I do want to say too, before we run out of time, non-black sympathizers, they're welcome to join us. Okay? I'm not a
Mm.
racist person at all. God made all racial groups and all that stuff. However, I do not operate